Why do we keep doing this to ourselves? Why is this a thing? Now, just so everyone knows, I'm not against gay actors at all. Trans actors, lesbian, whatever. Non-binary, whatever you want to call it. I'm not against actors like that getting out there and getting jobs. Not at all. I'm happy that they're able to find employment. I'm happy that they think they have an acting career ahead of them and they get into the business. And it's not even that I think this is the worst movie ever, or even a terrible movie. It's just that it doesn't seem to know what it wants to do. Before I get to that, hi, Taka Gaming HD. Trying out these longer videos, see if people like them. And if you have a request, maybe put it in the comments. I'll think about it. They/them. The title is one of the things that I was like, okay, this might be some cheesy fun. This might be a time waster or something. Like, haven't seen a slasher movie in a while. If you're looking for a slasher movie, don't fucking watch this, by the way. Pretty much every kill is off screen, or at the end of the movie. I watched it for Kevin Bacon, and he's good in it. This just feels like a movie that doesn't know what it wants to be. Like, it's obviously trying to comment on gay conversion therapy, but it also isn't. It's trying to be both a woke opinion piece, I guess, and it's also trying to be a dumb slasher. It fails at both. That's not to say there aren't good things. I am going to get into spoilers because I have to. I'm going to not really go through the movie. I'm just going to get to parts that I really just roll my eyes at, because the movie's watchable, I guess. Some people might enjoy it more than others, but it seems like a lot of people unanimously hate this movie because of the whole trying too hard thing, which I think that you could put that onto a lot of movies that have a lot of great reviews, and TV series like Heartstopper. I think that show, the first couple episodes I saw, sucked, and I think people were just giving great reviews. They gave it great reviews before the show even came out. I'm guessing because they loved the graphic novel, but that's neither here nor there. The star of They/them is Theo Germain. Now, Theo, I'm guessing this actor's non-binary, something like that. I'm just going to refer to the person as Theo. I'm not going to get into talking about pronouns and all that. I'm just here to comment on the movie itself. The movie itself is about these gay, lesbian, transgender, non-binary people going to this gay conversion camp for a week. And Kevin Bacon heads it. You got Anna Klumsky. You got Haley Griffith from Satanic Panic, which I was happy to see. And let's see what her name was. Carrie Preston, who I think she's an alright actress, but in this she plays it very over the top. Now, this movie goes in exactly the direction you don't think it's going to go, but in a bad way. The trailer to this made it look like, oh, it's a slasher killer, it's a slasher movie where there's a killer and the killer kills gay, lesbian, transgender people, which I think that could have been fun. That could have been alright. Not a masterpiece by any means, but it could have been a nice, like, 6 or 7 maybe. Like, could have had some pretty nasty kills. That's not what this is. This is a psychological thriller, I guess, where these people go to this camp. A lot of weird shit happens that's really just not realistic in the slightest. It's trying to be a commentary on the fucked up reality of gay conversion camps, which I haven't been to one myself. Yes, I get it. Most people that comment on this are going to be like, oh, but these camps are awful. Not all camps are like this, and I have yet to see one that's actually like this. I don't think you could legally do shock therapy. But, I don't know if I want to get into the story or anything. I just kind of want to comment on this because this movie's gotten terrible reviews on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and all of these sites. It has a 3.4 out of 10 on IMDb currently. And I saw from a lot of the reviews, it was people saying, oh yeah, it's queer horror and it sucks. It's barely horror. It's like, there's like 10 minutes of horror, kinda. But kills can be in a thriller or action movie as well, so. But I can see where they're coming from a little bit, but I do think a lot of people are hating on it because of the title, because it's about a gay conversion camp. I'm surprised more people haven't been behind it just because of the plot. But I'll get to the good first. Kevin Bacon is good as the leader of the camp. He has his moments where he goes a bit over the top, definitely. But in a movie like this, when are you looking for subtlety? Haley Griffith. I was kind of mad when I saw some of the stuff she does in the movie. I thought was way too over the top, but overall she was okay. Anna Klumsky's good as the nurse. There's some good cinematography, some very well placed shots. The score from... Sorry, I keep looking at my phone to check this shit. But, the score from Drum and Lace was fine, but it also reminded me of some movie. I can't think of it. I'll probably have to like listen to it later and see. But the main actor, Theo Germain, it's an okay performance. It didn't madden me. There were moments that were trying to be badass that I didn't buy in the slightest. I didn't buy Theo as a army brat or marine brat, whatever. Not at all. But the twist, I'll get into the twist later. The twist was alright, but also not really well telegraphed or well thought out. The twist was okay though. Yeah, that's about it for good. The bad, pretty much one of the big problems of this movie, they have like 40 characters in this conversion camp. Most of them don't have lines. Most of them you learn absolutely nothing about. You learn about maybe 10 of them. And you might see more, but you only get to hear like 10 of them speak, and only about 5 of them have any type of backstory. Which is kind of maddening. And I would think people would support the movie because of all the gay, lesbian, all the LGBT actors that are in it. But they're given nothing to do. That's the big problem. And it's so stereotypical. We need to go away from stereotypes. But maybe we just don't need a movie about a conversion camp, an evil conversion camp. But I just don't know how I'm supposed to talk about this movie without spoilers, but the dialogue is really bad in many parts. A lot of what Carrie Preston was given to say is very maddening to watch and listen to, because it's very stereotypical, evil, straight people. This movie wants you to think straight Christian people are all against gay people. I know that for a fact that Christians are not anti-gay. Yes, in the Bible there might have been a few quotes about like a man not wearing women's clothes or a woman not wearing men's clothes. Yes, that was a different time. I'm aware of that. As a Christian myself, I don't really practice. It's mostly every so often I'll pray. I don't go to church. I might go back, I don't know. Maybe when I'm in a better headspace, maybe when I'm not as depressed. But this movie wants you to think that all of these camps are like this, and that these people get tortured here. While I can't comment on that, it's played very unrealistically and very over the top. And for the movie it's trying to be, if it was less over the top, it would have fared better. If it was more sticking to realistic things, like if it was an actual story of actual accounts from one of these camps, maybe. But it doesn't work here. I guess I'll go into spoilers. The killer turns out to be Anna Klumsky's character, who is the nurse. And it turns out that as a kid she was sent to the camp, she was electroshocked, and she had been experiencing depression and not fitting in after that, and she was killing the people who work at the camp this time. Not any of the campers, except for one who turns out to be in with them, and the camper who's in on it turns out to be, he was like bait. One of the other guys at the camp ends up sleeping with him, and then he gets electroshocked and almost dies. But yeah, I thought that reveal was a bit weird. Like, not offensive or anything. I just don't get how that works for the message that they're going for. Because every horror movie has to have a message nowadays. It's really irritating that we can't just have a fucking horror movie. Like, the one A24 horror movie I liked, Hereditary, wasn't trying to push any messages down our throats. But then pretty much every horror movie, like Candyman, this, Us to a lesser degree, like, it's irritating. It's irritating that this keeps happening. Jacob's Ladder, the remake with, but like, I just don't know what else to say about this movie. But yeah, Anna Klumsky turns out to be the killer. She kills Kevin Bacon. Yay. Like, this movie is not a slasher. It's not. The last 20 minutes of the movie, there are some kills. I feel the same way about this that I did about X. When I saw X, I did not do a review because I was like so flabbergasted that people were saying this is like a fantastic horror movie. This is the best slasher ever. Like, it, I didn't find it scary, and I found it really confusing why they wanted to in X talk about a lack of sex makes women violent and all that, and the old woman isn't even played by an old woman; it's played by Mia Goth. So that kind of goes against your thing if you're too chicken shit or too much of a pussy to actually hire an older actress who isn't getting work anywhere else because older actors are very much frowned upon in Hollywood now and even independent stuff. So you're not off the hook either, Ty West. Fuck you. Um, but like, I just don't know what else to say about this movie. Like, I'm probably gonna forget it in the next few days. There were some parts that made me cringe really bad. The scene where a bunch of the people in the guy's cabin start singing "Fucking Perfect" by Pink, and it turns into like a fucking musical for one scene. Like, it felt so out of place. The killer, like, the mask design was kind of cool, but it just feels like it's taking from pretty much every other slasher. The kills aren't anything to write home about. You've seen way better in especially the Friday the 13th series. A lot of whenever the movie goes off the rails, it's more tiring because you get somebody like Kevin Bacon who's proven himself to be a good actor time and time again, and you just have him play over the top. That's it. That's not what he's known for, though. Like in Tremors, maybe, but in Tremors, like, that was an interesting kind of over the top. He was a cowboy and all that, but like, I just don't know what to say about this movie. I don't. I'm at a loss of words as to what to say about this movie because I don't I don't hate it with all my heart, and I don't like it. I just That's why I gave it a 5 out of 10. Like, if this movie, one, took out the horror thing, two, well, if one, it wasn't a slasher movie, maybe it would work a bit better as like a psychological thriller. Two, you take out a lot of the characters because most of the characters are just there to be, I guess, trans actors that are in the movie or LGBT, to be like, oh, we hired gay people, we hired lesbian actors, we hired transgender people, like, oh, be proud of us. And three is the big one. Hire better actors. Like, some of these actors are just awful. Theo was probably the least bad, but the one, oh my god, the one, I get, they're foreign. I don't know where they're from. I don't care to find out. Uh, Darwin Del Fabro as Gabriel. I was just so disappointed by the acting here. It was Monique Kim too was really not great. K-Tan, Austin Crute, Anna Lore, Cooper Cock, like, yeah, like, it was just disappointing. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say about this movie. I don't recommend it, but yeah, I guess that's it. See everyone later, and hope y'all have a nice day.